So today we are making an awesome little snack. I tried these battered once and my sister told me that I should try them another way. These are jalapeno popper bites. I mean, so good. Let's see what you're going to need for this awesome little snack. Welcome to Goodbye Gluten with Greg and Corrine, your hosts.
So please like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to our channel.
So this is what you're going to need for your little jalapeno popper bites. Okay, I got this recipe basically from my sister. She's one of our cool subscribers. Thank you very much, Lisa, for this idea. Okay, so first things first, you're going to need some nice jalapenos. These are about 4 inches long and about 1.5 inches in diameter. So you need some good sized ones. Okay, you need 2 knives, one to slice the jalapenos and a smaller knife to cut out the veins. You're going to need yourself a chopping board. You're going to need yourself 2 cookie sheets, or 1 cookie sheet and 1 drying rack. This is for when we deep fry them. Just stick them on here and that allows all the oil to drain off. And I also got another cookie sheet for our refrigeration time. Okay, we got my Chix Mix, which the recipe is right here. And I'll basically throw the actual ingredients down below in the description. Okay, I got milk and I got some vinegar because I'm going to do a buttermilk solution. If you don't know what that is, it's a thicker milk, so it helps all the flour and stuff to mix together. Pause that. Stop it. So we have what I call my Chix Mix. I use this for my chicken nuggets, deep frying chicken, making onion rings, which I'll have some of those links down below in the description for those videos. You'll love them. Okay, and it's a really easy mix to make, and obviously, you know, I make a lot of it at a time. I probably do about a gallon baggie easy. Okay, so I'm doing a buttermilk solution for dipping and dredging. And that's, you know, milk and buttermilk. It's milk and a little bit of vinegar. You can also use like soy milk, but don't use like a flavored kind because it'll taste weird. And do not use rice milk, period. Okay, move this aside. We got a couple of packs of cream cheese. Okay. Now, you can use cornstarch or tapioca starch for part of the dredging issue, or part. So we got cornstarch and tapioca starch. You can use either or for the first part of your dredging. Okay? You got to have some deep oil for the cooking, and since we're deep frying it, I got a pan on the stove that's for deep frying. This is where the bowl for the Chix Mix to go into, and then 2 pie pans for the other parts of the dredging. So let's get to the cooking. So let's get our measurements and stuff going for the dredge. We're probably gonna need more cornstarch. So I actually need more cornstarch. We use an Argo cornstarch, and we like it because it is gluten free. We're going to use about 1.5 cups to 2 cups worth. I like to just add some first, and then as it goes on, the more I need. Okay, and that's basically what you're kind of going to need, because you don't need a ton. Let's clean that up really quick and set that aside. Okay, now for the buttermilk. Now this is how you make buttermilk, folks, if you never made it. Probably one of the easiest things in cooking to actually make. So you just add your milk. Now this works really good with soy milk too. Rice milk kind of turns into like a gluey paste. Like, have you ever eaten that Elmer's paste when you were a kid? I haven't. I had friends who did. Okay, and just a little bit of vinegar. Okay, probably about quarter cup worth, and that'll work really good. Now what we're going to do, now watch this folks, this is really neat. It's really fluid, and then it only takes a few seconds, and this is going to start thickening up really quick. Yeah, and you can see how quickly that's coagulating, and you can, if you look really closely, this is really good to go. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to use we're going to start with about 2 cups of the Chex Mix and add as we go. Because you don't want to add just a ton and then have to dump a ton. Now, like if you're using just like the vegetables, you're not using eggs and stuff or meats, you can most likely go ahead and if you have extra, throw it through a sifter and then sift out the large chunks and then put this back in the bag. But I prefer just to do a small amount. That way I can toss them in there and set them aside. And then add more as we go. Okay, so now we're gonna prep the jalapenos. So now we're going to process our jalapenos. And all we're doing is slicing the top off right now. Now if you notice, I have a glove on. When I was a young kid, and a couple times also last year and the year before and the year before that, kind of wiped my eyes after processing jalapenos. Now some of you who have messed with these already know what I was going to say. It burns. All of you who were in the military and went through a CS chamber, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It burns. Okay, move that knife out of the way. And I got my little compost bucket here. I'm going to push right here. Now what I'm going to do is basically try to, oops, go ahead and stop. That's a little thick. Okay, I just realized that my butter knife was a little too thick, so if you have a filleting knife, I'm going to try using my, oh, that works really good, potato peeler. Oh, puppers. So I got myself a little wooden skewer. Pull it out. So now it's hollow. Give it a nice banging because you want it basically super cleared of all the seeds and the ribs. So the whiter the jalapeno, the better the jalapeno. So one way you can speed up the process of filling these up, you can get yourself a piping bag or a nice heavy duty Ziploc bag, or just use a straight up butter knife. I'm going to show you how to use a Ziploc. So basically you want to squish it. Now it also helps that if it is room temperature. Okay, Okay, make sure this is room temperature and it's really soft. And make sure the hole is not super wide. You want to just a very small clip of it and then just stick it in there and purge and squish. Now, after we're done filling these, once we start cutting them and you see parts that aren't full, you can go ahead and slice them up or fill them up that way.
Wait, 3, 2, 1. Hold on. It's not recording.
Did it go to sleep?
No? I have full stop it.
Now you want to keep these vertical, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start chilling these so that the cheese doesn't get all super hot and warm and start melting out of these. Now we're going to put these back in the refrigerator. Let them chill for about 15 minutes to get the cream cheese back and hard. Out of the refrigerator and get the coating going. Okay, so got our... So I'm just going to go ahead and just dump a bunch of these into the cornstarch. These are all nice and chilled. Almost look like candy. Ooh, maybe I should try candying jalapenos sometime. Go right into the buttermilk. Right into the mixture. Okay, I already did one prior. I like to let them sit in the flour mix, Chex Mix, for a minute or so. Okay, so at this point in time, you want to start your oil on your stove, and you're gonna put it on medium-high heat, and we're gonna heat it up to about 325 degrees. Okay, we're gonna drop these in the hot oil. I'm not going to cook them for a long time, just a few, about 2 minutes or 3 minutes, because I want the crust to harden a little bit, because I'm expecting most of these I'm going to just freeze, and then we're going to go ahead and then heat them up in an oven later on. Okay, so these are not like chicken nuggets where they're going to float at the end, so I'm randomly scooping them up and seeing the darkness. And so these have been in for about 2 minutes. Degrees. That's just literally perfect time. Oh yeah, look at those. Cool completely before putting them into a bag. And before you put them in the freezer, make sure you get all the air out of the bag. So this is my favorite part of the videos, as you all know. Well, besides cooking and all that good stuff and talking to you all, is the taste test. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh, that's hot too. Okay, it's not too hot for me to eat. That's good. So the jalapenos themselves are just slightly cooked. So they got that nice crunch to them, but they still have the non-bite of cooked jalapenos. Oh my gosh, these are really good. And the cream cheese is like literally perfect. So the way I made these is so you can literally put these in Ziploc baggies, right? Suck as much air out of those things as possible, right? To prevent ice crystals forming. And then when you have like a party, the big games coming on, having friends over, or you just want some jalapenos, put these babies in a toaster oven for about 400 degrees for about 8 minutes. And what that's going to do is melt that cream cheese perfect. The jalapenos by this time will be perfectly cooked. I mean, like, they'll be nice and soft. Pop them in your mouth. Careful, the contents of these little packages is hot. Not just spicy hot, but, you know, Vulcan hot because of the melted cheese. So, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'm really glad for all you subscribers. Check out all the links that we have in our About page. I really hope you will do that. And remember, send us comments. We love to hear from you. If you have questions about gluten-free living, if you have like someone that you know just got diagnosed with celiac disease, as I've been for the last 20 some years, you know, give us some questions. You know, we love to be able to help out, you know, spread the awareness. We live up in the PNW, so we can also tell you some great places to go eat at, great places to shop at. And remember what we always say here at Goodbye Gluten. Saying goodbye to gluten does not mean saying goodbye to great food and great taste. You have a great day.